Hey, Janet, we're live. Who do you want to do a shout out to?
I want to do a shout out to my partners, Jenna and Sat.
Jenna and Sot, here we go. I am so happy to be back again. We're talking with Janet Moore. She's a dating, confidence, and connection coach. She's been coaching singles for the last 15 years and helping hundreds of men and women align their behavior with their most authentic selves. I want to know how to do that because maybe I need to do some dating and you're going to help me get to that. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Mojo. We're going to talk about all kinds of stuff, right?
That's right.
Okay.
Yay.
So, what
And
what
Star
made
Trek.
you and Star Trek? I would love to talk about the latest episode of Strange New Worlds. We could do
Yes,
that too.
that'd be fun too.
Yeah, not Star Wars for all you other people that do that other
Yes,
show. Yeah,
yes,
Star
that's
Trek.
right.
So, you're doing dating. What made you get into dating and telling people about dating and love connections and all that kind of stuff? Why do you do this?
Well, I was in a landmark course called the Wisdom Course, learning how to be an adult. And we were talking about structural language, like how to move your body, kind of like body language, a little bit different. And this one guy, he would move his head really weird and stuff. And I said, hey, if you try to smooth out your emotions, you know, it might be easier for you to connect with people. And then I was telling him about how to walk, how to talk, how to love with women. And the two guys that I was talking to, they were like, gosh, Jen, this is really good stuff. You should do it for a living. So I said, really? And this is back in the day. Okay. This is a while back
Uh
when there
huh.
was really, this is before Hitch, the movie Hitch. And so I looked around. There wasn't really any dating coaching, not really. So I started with image consulting. I went and got my image consulting certifications, two different ones, and started clothing men. I started styling men, I guess that's what you say it.
Uh huh.
And started doing that, making them feel really confident about themselves. When they would get in those clothes, their confidence level would just shoot right up. So that's how I started. And then some friends in my community said, hey, why don't you do a workshop? And with some of my girlfriends noticed I had this ability to just get men to come over and talk to me. And I'm like, doesn't every woman know how to do that? So,
I think the
it,
women know how to do it. It's the guys that are afraid to
no,
do it, right?
some of the women don't
Really?
know. I was shocked. I thought everyone thought it was like a thing that you're born with. I don't know.
Okay, then.
So apparently not. So then I created a workshop based on, I started looking back at what I do. And again, it's about your confidence. Because
Mhm.
one thing you got to know is before I took that personal growth course, I'm a computer geek. I have a computer science degree from University of Texas. And I loved, not being in front of everybody. I loved being behind the computer and just programming, happily programming, not getting in front of people. And And when I took the personal growth course, got completely over that. I love being on stage. Can't get me off the stage now. And you know, I just that's my confidence just shot up. I just decided to be myself, to be authentically me, and not worry what everybody thought. And
Oh,
that's when I
wow.
started developing. Had the ability to even consider doing what I do today. And with those men saying, "Hey, this is what you should do," I thought, "Hi, I really enjoy this." I was thinking back to when I used to date. This is because I got married then. I was married then. Um, they used to put me like these dating, what do you call it, connection matchmaker sites. They used to
Uh-huh.
put me on the dates of all the men that came on because I was personable and friendly and nice and attractive. And so they put me on the dates, even though they said, "Oh, don't worry, we know this is not a match for you, but we want to show off." And it wasn't that I'm not trying to brag about that. What I'm saying is I was personable, I was friendly, and um, and I would give them advice. So I used to think back to those days. I actually used to give these guys advice. I say, "Hey, have you thought about maybe doing your hair different?" And I would actually play with their hair a little bit and show them. I say, "Hey, have you thought about this is the kind of clothes you might want to wear?" Or you might want to say this inside, next time you meet a woman, you might want to, be more like this. So I
Uh-huh.
was actually coaching men while I was going on my first meet dates with these guys. So it was kind of funny. So I was
Did
doing it before I even knew I was doing what I was doing. So
and I'm sure that they, like, appreciated it
they
because, like
did. They
yeah,
really
absolutely.
did.
Like,
They
you should
did.
Michael, you should
And
really
I would
cut this
ask
cat.
first. Yeah. 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 Well, they would ask first. So I would ask first, sorry, to make sure they were okay, with me
Yeah.
saying
And
stuff.
so
But
now, did you actually date any of the guys that you were doing the coaching with, or no? No,
no,
didn't
no,
happen. So you,
no, yeah. No, I want a confident person that knows what they want and goes for it.
I got you. So you trained the guys for the other women. You also trained women too, I'm guessing.
Yes, I do too. I do that as well. So I started with that workshop. And what's kind of cool about my workshop is after you learn, men and women are done separately,
Uh huh.
and then they come together on the second session to go on little mini dates with each other, and they get written and verbal feedback about how they're doing. So it's in a safe environment where you get to, you know, give each other feedback and help each other. Because when do you ever go on a date and somebody tells you, like,
Never.
and I coach them at beforehand, I want you to be honest with these people. It's going to be provide so much value. You say it in a kind way, obviously,
Yep.
but like it's going to be so huge for you to start, give this feedback to this
Yes.
person that they might like if you booger in your nose or your zipper down, you would want to know, right? So it's the
Yep.
same kind of thing. You would want to know if you're just whatever it is, and say it in a loving way, of course, and be
You know.
receptive to the feedback.
Yeah. Well, guys and girls say it usually to each other. They just don't call back. It's like, that's the call.
Or
That's the feedback,
well,
right?
they ghost you. They're just
E-
gone,
Exactly.
which is so
Exactly.
so well, for men it's just so not manly. It's just like you're not being masculine. That's called not a masculine man, a man that cannot say, you know it's been nice getting to know you, or hey, I just don't think we're a match. I wish you the
Yeah.
best. That's all you have to say. That's all you have to say. I I don't think we're a match. I wish you the best. See you later, whatever.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Instead of just, you're sitting in a conversation, you think things are going well, then they just disappear. So, and for women too. I mean, I'm a woman, so I'm thinking of men, but I know that men, I coach a lot of men, that happens to them as well.
Yep.
And I feel like the online dating industry has gotten a really bad rap because people, it's like a kid in a candy store. Oh, there's a
What it
person over
is.
here. Oh, there's a person over here. Oh, here. Oh, then, you're just like, too many people almost to pick
I got
from.
you.
And they don't
Well,
have, and they lost decency and their courtesy and their, you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. I think that's pretty awesome that you're putting it out there and making it okay for people to go like, you know what, we're not right. Maybe we can still be friends, but we're not dating. That kind of stuff.
Hmm.
So now you talk, and one of the main reasons I want to bring you on here is because we talk to a lot of people who are awakened, they're conscious, they are this sort of thing, and you talk about conscious dating and being a conscious and awakened person. Tell us about that. What is up with the consciousness?
Yeah. So I have two groups, Facebook groups. I have Awakened Dating.
Hmm.
Maybe that's one good one you can put in there. AwakenedDating.com is my Facebook group. It's an international group, and it's for people that are, you could say, truth seekers, sovereignty. I call them, I like being sovereign in yourself. So a sovereign single, as you could say, is what awakened means to me. Someone who is awake to what's really going on. Now, some of you that aren't are like the conspiracy theorists or whatever you want to call. We call ourselves truth seekers. Are you may think that's silly and ridiculous, but no, we. That's really cool about my group. I ask them what's their biggest challenge when they come into the Facebook group, and they say it's meeting someone like-minded. So this group is I only let people in the group if they're also truth seekers. And I ask a particular question, and I'll figure that out by the way they answer that question, the second question in Facebook group. So we keep it kind of, well, just like-minded is the best way to say it in that group.
Is it www.awakeneddating.com?
Awakened, yeah, ENED,
Well, I like that. I'm
awakeneddating.com.
gonna put it up here so people
Mm-hmm.
can see it. Awakeneddating.com.
Yeah, we're going to be starting to do on Hop-In. It's a cool software where you can do like speed dating, and it makes it like Zoom is cool, but this is like geared towards that. I don't have to do any fancy stuff; it just does it. You set it up and forget it. So I'm going to be doing that soon. And then there's a Conscious Connecting for Singles in Austin. So this is just more about a local Austin group. So if you happen to be in Austin, the Austin area, then you would want to join that group. And so Conscious also similar and a little different. It's not quite as about sovereignty as more as just conscious, like being conscious of your body and what you put into it,
Hmm.
being conscious of the conversations that you have with others. My awakened is a little bit like, it's also like that. There's lots of, you could say also spiritual. Both groups are kind of spiritual based. Like we have singles events in Austin. We've had our 4th one just last Sunday. We're having another one. We have one about every month, and there's no alcohol. People are used to going to singles events or with lots of alcohol. None of us
No.
drink. We don't drink.
Now, is that because that's a rule of the group, or is it just like people who are
Most of
in
us
your
don't.
vibe just don't drink?
We
Like I don't
just,
drink.
yeah, I don't either. I used to,
Yeah.
and I don't anymore. I just don't feel it's necessary. You know, um, I like being in my body and being conscious of my body. I don't like to have to. I don't know what the word is, but be out. Like they say spirits. They call it alcohol spirits. It's because
Yes.
it's like it's not as in spiritual, but spirits as in it's like things are taking control of you and stuff. And I'm like, I thought that was really interesting. They like the meaning behind spirits, and I'm like, oh, that's
Actually, I never
intriguing.
thought about it that way. That is a very good way of thinking about spirits,
Like
right?
you're not being yourself, and so
Yeah.
being back in your body, being yourself, I think is I don't know. I think it's cool. I like
Yeah.
myself. I like being who I am. I like having my mind clear and being present with others too. When you're not
That's a
drinking, you're present with others a
I
lot
think
more too.
people are agreeing with you. I see the thumbs ups and the hearts. They're going like, yes, that is true.
Nice.
So you're looking for people who are conscious, they're awake, that sort of thing. Now, before we started the show, you mentioned something to me that I just thought was like so cool. Basically, he's from Austin Powers. I want to talk about Mojo.
Oh yes, Mojo. That's right. Yeah. So I actually my first 2 versions in the name of my business was Mojo Maker,
Hmm.
and then I changed my name's More, so then later it's like More Mojo. Oh gosh, actually I had that at the beginning. Man, that's such a great name. So More Mojo, and how that happened was also I created something called your Mojo Vibe.
Uh-huh.
So your Mojo Vibe, and I can't remember. I have to go back and look and see if I came up with my Mojo Vibe before Austin Powers came out. I don't remember. I have to go back and look, but I was I think I remember being upset. Oh man, that's my thing, and now he's took it over. But 18 has But anyways, Mojo is like this uncanny personal power, right? And then your vibe is, of course, what you're vibing out. You're always vibing something, always, right?
Right?
So it's about being conscious of what you're vibing. So what is your Mojo vibe? What is the thing you want others to know about you that makes you unique and memorable? Now, in the context that I use it in, of course, is for singles. So what is that vibe that you want other singles to know about you? That kind of person that you want to attract, right? So that's kind of what we do. It's one of the very much the fundamental of my coaching is we have to create your Mojo vibe first, because that way I know, like if you're like one lady, she was a sailor. She was an empty nester,
Right?
and we kind of this exercise, we kind of have a brainstorming tool that I use to get to the 3 words. And she remembered before her kids, she used to love to sail. And so she remembered, I want to sail again. That's who I really am as a sailor. Even though she's a Pilates instructor, she was also a
Hmm.
sailor. So she put that down, and I said, now that we know this is who you want to be out in the world, there's things to do. Well, I had her go hang out at yacht clubs
Okay.
because she wanted to sail and she wanted to meet a sailor as well. Because kind of once you know who you are, then you kind of say, well, what kind of person do I want to be? The kind of person that I want to be, what kind of person would I want to attract, and who do I want to be with? So she started hanging out at yacht clubs. Before you know it, she was dating guys that, helping out, crewing boats. But then eventually she started, dating, and she dated, I think, several different men, not several, but a few different men,
Uh-huh.
and eventually got married to one, and they ended up buying a sailboat and living on it for a number of years and sailing around the Caribbean and even the East Coast.
So
So
is
she was living her dream, being a sailor.
that's awesome. Is Mojo Vibe being the vibe you want to put out or the vibe you want to attract, or is it both?
I would say both. You want to create it such that it's who you want to be, and then, and in essence, also for the kind of person you want to attract.
Hmm.
So, who is that person that you like? If you're, I'm trying to think. Like for her, if she did not want to be a sailor, there's really no. I'm not that she can't go to sail out, go, boating and yachting, but um, her actions, the kind of person she'd want to meet wouldn't necessarily be a sailor. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? It could be, but it's not necessarily. If she wanted to be something more of a physical fitness person or the Pilates person, she probably would hang out at more of those type of events because she wants to attract those type of people. You
You
see what
know,
I'm saying?
it's interesting what you're saying because I'm looking at over the years. I watch my friends, I watch everyone, and the way that most people typically, I guess, pick up people is you go to the bars, clubs, and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. But why would you do that when you just go to the yacht club or the photography
Yeah.
event or the Star Trek convention or whatever to meet the people that you want,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly. I say be in your joy. And that part of the Mojo vibe is figuring out what does bring me joy. Who
Hmm.
am I? Who do I want to project and what kind of person I'm be? And then being in your joy. Then once we figure that out, again, that's the basis of my coaching, is then we have you go out there and be in your joy. What would if you're being your joy and being what would you be doing? Going to Star Trek conventions to meet like-minded people, going to the like I said, for the yacht clubs, going to marketing events. If you're a big marketer and that's the kind of person you want to attract, whatever that is, whatever brings you joy and the kind of person you be around, that's what we would have you do. And we hold you accountable, making sure you're doing those things, getting out there, coaching you when things happen. Okay, let's do this instead of that, just la la la. So those are the kinds of things, And again, the Mojo vibe is the fundamental to
See,
start
most
with.
people, I think, even I would say, even that just that little tip that you gave right there is like, don't go to places where your people aren't. Go find your people, right?
Yes, definitely.
That's a great bit of knowledge and advice right there. Go
Okay.
find your people. I'm gonna
Yes.
go find the aliens.
Go
No.
find your go find your people, the aliens, whoever you are, and be in your joy. Of course, hopefully it's your joy place, right? So you find joy. So
Okay, so you've got this whole Love
yes,
Accelerator Academy, and is it something that people can do online, or do they have to be in Austin? Because we want people to actually be
sure.
involved in what you're doing and learn some more about
Yeah,
Mojo Vibe and
thanks.
stuff.
Yeah, so the Love Accelerator. So I'm now with my two partners that I mentioned, my business partners, Sat and Jenna.
Hmm.
Sat and Jenna, and so we are the Conscious Love Connection, and we now have a new program that we're promoting. It starts August 1st. It's called the Love Accelerator Academy. And it is online. So anyone in the world basically can join our academy starting August 1st.
Awesome, awesome,
And
awesome.
basically, kind of, again, we're going to work with you through your Mojo vibe. We have actually, it's a group coaching program, but everyone's going to get an initial phone call with one of us and an exit phone call with one of us. So we're going to really get to understand what you're looking for, who you are, and what you're looking for. And on the back end of the course, we're looking at making sure, because we're going to create an action plan, a love action plan for your life, love life
Wow,
action plan. So we're going to actually have you be doing certain things and that we want you to do, like what I just said. You're going to we'll of course help you create your Mojo, but there's going to be things to go out there to do, and we're going to help you with that and create a plan for you,
mhm.
and we're going to make sure you're following that plan. But at the end, what's the next steps for you? So making sure even if you're not in the coaching program, you can keep moving forward.
So how long is the actual program?
Yeah, it's basically 2 months, 8 weeks, basically.
Okay,
And we have two group coaching calls a week. Once a Q&A, so you're going to learn the information first, and then we're going to have a Q&A call once a week. And then the second one is going to be a transformation call. So all three of us, in fact, that's how we met. We met in NLP, hypnosis, and QTT for quantum time techniques, um, trainers training. So we're both all certified. Oops, sorry. We're not only just master practitioners in this, we're also trainers, meaning we can train people to be certified in it as well. So that's how we met, and that's what we actually also use for our coaching as well. So we're going to do something called quantum time techniques, group quantum time techniques, to actually change your limiting beliefs, change your negative patterns, all that kind of stuff. So that's what we're going to do in those other sessions.
so am I gonna have to have you back on to talk about this QTT because that's a new one I haven't heard, and I think we want to learn about that some more.
Okay, yes, definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So,
I always like to learn. I love learning new things so I can apply to my clients. I bring new tools in all the time.
So I want people to know something about you, and you already mentioned Star Trek, and we have talked about Star Trek. What's your favorite Star Trek episode, by the way?
That was a hard one. I think it's that. I mean, Picard was pretty awesome.
Picard
I
was
love time.
awesome.
I love time travel movies,
Yeah.
or whatever concepts. So, do you remember that one episode? It was not Picard. It was Next Generation,
Uh-huh.
and they blew up, and then they came back,
Oh, they kept blowing up and
and they
coming
blew
back.
up. I know that they did a new one in
And
that.
Data had to figure it out finally because his positronic matrix was like working
Yes,
through the whole. Yeah.
exactly. I thought that
Yep.
was so cool, and I think they had some other ones with time traveling recently. I can't remember. I've been watching Discovery and what's the new one called?
Well,
Um,
there's Brave New Worlds
Brave New
or
Worlds. I've been
Strange New
watching
Worlds.
those
Strange New Worlds.
Strange New
Yeah.
Worlds at the
Yeah.
same time, so I'm trying to remember when did I see
Yeah.
that
You
one?
should watch that and the Orville at the same time. That's
Oh my
trying
god!
to keep those apart. Yeah.
This weekend I'm starting the Orville. I can't
Yeah.
wait. Yeah.
The Orville, like, are you talking about Orville season 1 or 2?
Two. I've already watched
Okay.
the first one. I've watched
Yeah.
many of those episodes. In fact, I want to say something. This is what was that one? Remember I told you about the one about social media?
Oh,
Um,
not was it Black Mirror or
no,
what
the
that?
Orville episode.
Oh, the Orville. Yes, I don't remember the name of it, but I do remember.
I
And
remember. Okay.
I told you my favorite one was season 2, episode 11, where yeah, that I just watched it like 3 times the other night.
Oh, okay. Is that season 2? Is the new season, right?
Or season 1, episode 11 of the
Oh,
of the
okay. I was gonna
Orville.
say I didn't
Season 2,
remember
I
they
don't
had that
know.
many.
It's the one
Okay,
where they
so what?
open the time capsule. That's what they do. They open the time capsule and they find the cell phone, and then he puts it into the holodeck, which is not called the holodeck on the Orville, and the whole back past comes to life. It's awesome.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
remember we watched that one. I like the one about the social where everyone has buttons on them, and if you do something that's not very nice, people come up and push the no or the yes or no or the yay, good or bad or whatever buttons, and it's all about everyone is ruled by their emotions,
Yeah.
and then they lobotomize basically people if they get too many points. So it's like social points. It's basically social scores.
Yeah.
Like instead of credit scores, social scores, which is I'm gonna say right now, it's horrible. And when I watched that, I think it was 2017 or 18 or 19. I don't know. Which I thought we were so far away from that. I felt so sorry for the people living on that planet, and I
Hmm.
thought this will happen years and years from now. Little did
There you
I
go.
know it would happen. What, a year and a half later, 2.5 years later?
Yeah,
That's
you
what
didn't
happened
know.
during COVID,
Yeah.
guys. That's what happened. Yeah.
See, and actually, see, I think probably we have a Mojo vibe going here because we're both on the Star Trek thing or something. I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. So,
Yes, we
um,
do.
all right. So, Love Accelerator Academy. We're gonna jump out of here. I'm gonna beam back down to Earth and hang out with
Okay.
the humans for a while,
Okay.
and I'm gonna get you back on
Okay.
to talk about the QTT-ness of things in the future episode,
That'd
and
be
we'll go
great.
from there. I'm
Okay.
looking forward to it. All
Thanks
right.
so much, Michael.
Thanks.
It was so
See
much
you guys in
fun.
the
Always
future.
have fun with you.
Bye.
Now that you